At the end of the day, everyone I've ever known will be dead. There are no exceptions in genocide. The world became overpopulated less than a decade ago. Our government declared a nationwide emergency in 2043 and enacted martial law to keep the masses at bay. Then, construction on the walls began along the country's border. Travel bans ensued to and from the US. Like sheep, we believed it was for our safety. Train cars carrying hazardous materials began derailing and poisoning communities. Forest fires blazed the East Coast during the winter months. So-called rebels were accused of knocking down cell towers across the nation. Any business that was not corporate-owned got buried, and eventually those got buried too. Books and periodicals before the 20s were banned, and soon every academic institution shut down. Teachers knew early on what the government was planning to do, and no one believed them. Some teachers continued to teach in private without being paid, and they were imprisoned. In 2046, the Advised Treason Act went into effect, criminalizing educators around the country and terminating them. Doctors followed soon after. Politicians were safe for a while, and then the truth came out. In 2042, the United Nations negotiated a contract of cessation with the United States government, detailing the plans for controlled world population and extermination of American citizens. It was decided that our nation was wasteful and dispensable in the face of global prosperity. To maintain population and eliminate economic and political obstruction, the United States of America was voted to be sacrificed. Their long-term plan finally came to light, and all the pieces fell into place. Americans were to be murdered for the greater good. Predictably, we started killing each other, and I couldn't help but realize why we were chosen to die. Americans always had the right to violence. Those with family and friends abroad during the travel ban prayed that their loved ones were spared, but American blood spilled on soil all over the world. The military bases across the nation were left deserted once loyalty to the country was considered inconsequential in the big picture. Those who risked their lives to protect us in the past received nothing in the end. No one would protect us now. Those spared from the genocide were the ones who cut the deal. Only a select few of those who comprised the 3 government branches were offered asylum, only to be executed in the years to come. In order to ensure a complete wipeout, Japan proposed a compromise. Any of those that survived the choreographed disasters from the last 8 years were to be finished off in nuclear warfare. According to my radio, the compromise goes into effect at midnight. I watched the sunset an hour ago. It reminded me of my mother. I am alone in an outpost in the Adirondacks. I miss my husband. I know there is no point in writing this, but history must be written down, even if it is hidden from us. 100 years from now, no one will have ever known that we existed. Those allowed to remember would say we had potential and chose to destroy it. I disagree. America died when it was discovered.